The moment I saw the headlights stop outside our little apartment in Columbus, Ohio, my heart nearly stopped. I had spent 3 weeks secretly preparing for that visit, hoping it would heal a wound I had never caused but had somehow become responsible for. Yet when the car door opened and my girlfriend's mother, Rebecca, stepped onto the sidewalk, I suddenly wondered if I had made the biggest mistake of my life. She was carrying an old cardboard box against her chest, and the look on her face told me she had no idea what waited for her inside. Before we discover what happened, if you believe that kindness, forgiveness, hope, and second chances can change a family, please take a moment to like this story, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Sometimes one small act of compassion can open a door that pride has kept locked for years. My girlfriend, Hannah, had barely spoken to her mother for almost 2 years. Their relationship had fallen apart after Hannah's father passed away unexpectedly. Rebecca had responded to the loss by becoming distant and practical, throwing herself into work and refusing to talk about her grief. Hannah had needed comfort, but instead she felt abandoned. Over time, every unanswered phone call became another brick in the wall between them. By the time I met Hannah, she had convinced herself that she no longer needed her mother. But I noticed the truth in the little things, the way she stared at old family photographs, the way she became quiet whenever Mother's Day approached, and the way she still kept a faded birthday card Rebecca had mailed years earlier. I never pushed her to forgive. I knew some wounds needed time. But one evening, while cleaning the apartment, I found Hannah sitting on the floor beside that old cardboard box of family photographs. Tears were running down her face, but she quickly wiped them away and pretended everything was fine. That night, she finally admitted that she missed her mother terribly. She was simply too afraid that reaching out would mean getting rejected again. After Hannah fell asleep, I made a decision. I searched through an old contact number she had once written in the back of a notebook and reached out to Rebecca myself. I didn't tell Hannah. I didn't ask Rebecca to fix everything. I simply told her that her daughter still loved her, even if she didn't know how to say it, and that perhaps it was time for both of them to stop letting old pain decide their future. Rebecca didn't answer immediately. Then, unexpectedly, she agreed to come. 10 minutes after I sent her the address, those headlights appeared outside. When I opened the door, Rebecca stood there trembling. The cardboard box in her arms contained photographs, letters, and a small wooden music box that had belonged to Hannah's father. She told me she had almost turned around twice on the drive. She was terrified that Hannah would shut the door in her face. Then Hannah walked into the hallway. For several seconds, neither woman moved. I watched them look at each other as if they were strangers who somehow knew every secret in one another's hearts. Hannah's face crumpled first. Rebecca dropped the box, and the photographs scattered across the floor. Then mother and daughter finally stepped toward each other. There was no dramatic speech. No instant healing. Just two people crying while holding each other, finally allowing years of silence to break. Rebecca admitted that after her husband died, she had been so overwhelmed by her own grief that she had forgotten her daughter was grieving too. Hannah admitted that she had mistaken her mother's silence for a lack of love. Neither blamed the other. They simply apologized. That evening, we sat around our tiny kitchen table drinking coffee while Rebecca showed Hannah the photographs she had brought. One picture made Hannah laugh through her tears. It was an old photograph of her father trying to assemble a bicycle while Rebecca watched helplessly. For the first time in years, Hannah heard stories about her father that she had never known. Weeks passed, and things didn't magically become perfect. Rebecca still lived several hours away. Hannah still had moments of anger and sadness. But they started calling each other every Sunday. Then came weekend visits. Slowly, carefully, they began building something new, not the relationship they had lost, but one that was stronger because both of them finally understood how fragile love could become when grief was left unspoken. Months later, Hannah discovered the cardboard box had been placed on a shelf in our living room. Inside it were the photographs, the letters, and the music box. She told me that I hadn't brought her mother back into her life. I had simply given them both a chance to walk through the same door. If this story touched your heart, please support the video with a like, share it with someone who believes families can heal, and subscribe if you want more stories about hope, forgiveness, and second chances. And before the story ends, leave a comment telling me this: do you believe one small act of kindness can change the direction of an entire family? That night, as I watched Hannah and Rebecca laughing together over old photographs, I realized something I would never forget. Sometimes love doesn't mean solving someone's pain. Sometimes love simply means opening a door, stepping aside, and giving two hurting hearts the courage to find each other again.